there's so many, I think people talk about in terms of ingredients for success, but the one thing which I heard from what you were saying, that you used to work for this company for a few years, and it seems like that experience gave you a lot of background to the product that you were about to sell, right?
It did.
And I think that's a very important part of like being a business owner, because when you're a maker, you're selling something, you actually need to be the expert on it, right? So talk us through those early days. So clearly, I don't know if was it like you woke up one morning and you thought, I'm going to sell this thing, or was it just this idea that was germinating in your head and you were thinking about what's that market you're going to hit, what problems do you want to solve? Because we talked about hemp being a very versatile ingredient. So what led to that moment where I thought, this is what I want to do my business in?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was definitely the latter. It was a small idea that germinated, and I spent months with thinking about how to do things differently. I was lucky in that when I was working for this manufacturer, part of what I did was travel and go to trade shows. And so I did everything from the Crunchy Granola Health Expos, where I am talking to moms and older people and pet lovers who don't really understand why they would have a need and why they should be introduced to these products. And then I also did the Freedom Festival in Boston, which was just a big pot show that was like nothing I've ever seen before. And I did a lot of those shows too. So that was, I think, what helped me really hone in on the people that I felt were being underserved in this market. I joke that hemp is sexy and my website and products are not, but we're not. Those aren't my people. I want the natural people. I want people who want to be educated. There's nothing more frustrating than picking up the phone and making a call because you want to be educated and the person on the line knows less than you do. So that was kind of ground zero for me, is I want to be an expert and really be able to help people. And I'm not always going to have the answers. And when I don't, I'm going to say, I don't have the answers, but I'll find them for you and I'll figure it out and I'll do some homework and I'll point you in the right direction. So that was where I started, from a point of, let me educate consumers, and let me educate consumers like me and like my family and like my girlfriends, who just want to be able to be healthier and want to understand more. So that was kind of where I started, and then it grew from there.
And to me, that sounds like that sounds very smart, because I know you were joking earlier, but I think there was so much truth to that, where you were talking about people joking that you were a drug dealer, and but it sounds to me that you really understood that this segment of the market needs education, because perhaps that was their first reaction to it, that, okay, I don't want to consume something from this plant that's got so many other associations. So it seems like education was probably the best way to reach this market, because I guess you felt that they were underserved because they didn't even think that this product could actually solve their problems, right?
Absolutely. And we've always stood on the fact that we educate first. I will spend an hour with someone and educate them. And if they don't buy a thing, that's okay, because they know more than when they came in. So we educate first and we sell second. And we've stood by that. It was a lot easier when we started. It's kind of funny to say, because now people are definitely more comfortable with it and more understanding, and that knowledge base is growing significantly more than 2016 when I started. But in 2016, there wasn't the competition that there is today. I mean, our competition has grown by, I don't know, the last statistic I saw was something like 3,000% since then. So, I mean, and it's literal. And we're able to get funding and have banks actually treat us like a real legal entity, which was not the case when I started. So today it's easier and harder in different ways. Definitely, I think that there has to be a lot more attention paid to the audience and everything that's going into that e-commerce site to make sure that we're attracting the right type of people and those repeat customers. I didn't have to work as hard at that when I started. I just had to work harder at people understanding that I wasn't a drug dealer. So now I don't have to work quite so hard at the drug dealing aspect. But everything else in the marketing, we have to get a lot more intentional than we have, just because there are so many other people out there doing it.